Hey man, what's up guys? I just wanted to do a video on everyone i- is debating, in WWE. Excuse me. Is Undertaker coming back? Is Sting coming to WWE? Either way, I think it would be huge for the WWE. Especially since it's at WrestleMania, I guess. But I, either one I kind of have my doubts about because it's been on Raw. So with the Undertaker, if he returns to Raw as a Raw superstar, I don't see that happening because everything for him is on SmackDown. Uh, I mean, part of the Nexus, they split up from the Nexus and now the Core. So I mean, I could see maybe he's kind of, but even then, no, because Wade Barrett was leader of the Nexus, and they're on SmackDown now. So obviously, he would be going to SmackDown for that. Kane is on SmackDown. They have their big feud. It just seems like everything for Undertaker would be on SmackDown, and why would he come to Raw? Um, And then other people are saying, oh my god, it's Sting. It's Sting. Sting's finally coming to WWE. That I have doubts about too. I mean, that would be great. That would be awesome. I mean, Sting is one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. I've loved him since I first saw him in WCW. Um, but I just don't see that happening. I've seen interviews in the past couple of years with Sting, where it just doesn't seem like he would ever go to the WWE, or whatever sign with the WWE. I and plus I don't see him that much as a WWE superstar. I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, he'll be great in TNA, WCW, or WWE," and then there's other people who say wrestlers are wrestlers. They work in whatever company, but it it all depends on how they promote you and how they use you in the show. And also, a lot of people don't realize this, but it depends on the atmosphere of the company and the show. Even on TV, it depends on this. There were certain WCW superstars who didn't work well on WWE after the invasion and the buying out of WCW when WCW went out of business and everything. They just didn't work well on WWE just because they were more WCW type superstars. If you look during the Monday Night Wars, WCW and WWE were completely different. The way everything was set up, from the lighting to the superstars to just the atmosphere in general. And people might disagree with me that wrestling is wrestling, but I mean, to me, there was a huge difference. That's why I did, uh, on those Monday Night Wars. Even before the Monday Night Wars, when it was just WCW versus WWE, on TV, I would switch back and forth from Raw to Nitro and from SmackDown to Thunder, because I didn't want to miss anything on either one. Unfortunately, that was back before we had DVR and everything like that, or I would have recorded them. You know what I mean? But yeah, they were both great shows, and I didn't want to miss either one. But the superstars in WCW and the superstars on WWE, I think, were on those shows or in those companies for a reason, because maybe WCW didn't see something in one superstar that WWE did, or maybe WCW didn't see something in a super, or WWE didn't see something in a superstar that WCW did, or you know what I mean. Um, it it was just completely different. You know what I mean? For example, WCW had the luchadors. All the kind of, I don't want to say Mexican, but like Spanish, whatever superstars, the high flyers and everything. Um, like Rey Mysterio and all those guys. That that was their thing for WCW that they had. WWE had high flyers and stuff like the Hardy Boys and stuff, but it was different. It wasn't it wasn't as, I don't even know how to describe it. I don't want to say it wasn't as high flying because it was, but it wasn't. I don't know, but if somebody knows what I'm talking about, kind of chime in here. Give me a comment. But I mean, yeah, there were so many differences. And I just don't think that certain superstars will work in the WWE. Obviously, Rey Mysterio did, and I'm glad that he did, because he was a great superstar. And I think when WCW went out of business, I think he actually came to WWE before that. But I mean, if he didn't, and WCW went out of business, I don't think his career would definitely not have been over. He, you know, when I watched him in WCW, I think everyone knew there was something special about him, and obviously there was. I mean, he's been multiple time world heavyweight champion, WWE champion, I think. I he's done everything in WWE so far, I think. You know what I mean? But I just don't know about Sting, is what I'm trying to say. I would like it to be Sting. That would be great. I think, Sting versus Undertaker in WrestleMania, that would be amazing. That would be like the greatest match ever. And it takes a lot for me to say that because, it takes a lot to impress me in the WWE matches or WCW matches or TNA matches. It has to be intense, and I think Undertaker versus Sting would be like, you look up intense in the dictionary and you'll see a picture of this match. It's gonna be crazy if that's the match. I think it's going to be kind of like, Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. It's going to be a match like that. It's going to be crazy. But and also, speaking of that, I'd like to see Diesel, if he stays in, which I'll get to this. Actually, I'll get to this into another video. But yeah, I think Sting and Taker would be great. I hope they do it. I don't know. We'll have to see. All right, guys.